Good day, my friend. What if I told you that your energy, your internal state, is the most valuable currency you possess? Every thought you think, every word you speak, every emotion you feel is a frequency. It's a broadcast. And the moment you speak prematurely, the moment you expose your intentions carelessly, you leak energy. You see, your brain is not just an organ, it's a broadcasting system. And every time you voice your vision, your brain chemically rewards you as if you've already accomplished it. The danger is, the more you talk, the less you act. The mind thinks it's already done the work, so nothing changes. Real transformation happens in silence. Silence is where you disconnect from external noise and tune into the quantum field where all potential exists. It's where you create, not from memory, but from possibility. And when you protect your energy, when you refuse to leak your inner state, you begin to retain power. You become magnetic. The most powerful people in the world don't expose their frequency to just anyone. They regulate it. They protect it. They own it. So ask yourself, what am I giving away when I overshare? Who am I becoming when I choose silence over reaction? Protect your energy. Be silent. And let the world feel your power before it ever hears your words. Absolutely, Ashir. Here's an expanded version of Key Point No. 1. Energy is your currency in 5 detailed flowing paragraphs as styled with the deep, introspective, and neuroscientific tone inspired by Dr. JEO Dispenza. Energy is your currency expanded. Everything in your life, your health, your relationships, your success, is shaped by one central force, your energy. This isn't just metaphorical, it's literal. Your body is made up of over 70 trillion cells, and each of those cells is vibrating, generating an electromagnetic field. That field is your signature. It's what you're constantly broadcasting into the world. When you walk into a room, people don't first read your words, they read your energy. Before you even speak, you're already being heard on a vibrational level. You trade this energy every day, often unconsciously. When you argue with someone, when you complain about your life, when you scroll aimlessly through social media, you're spending your energy. And the real question becomes, what are you spending it on? Most people burn their energetic capital trying to control the external world, rather than investing it in internal coherence. They react to everything around them, draining their nervous system and leaving very little energy for creation, intention, or healing. Just like you wouldn't hand your life savings to someone careless, you start becoming selective with where your energy flows. You start realizing that attention is power. Wherever you place your attention, you place your energy. So if you're constantly focused on drama, fear, or validation, you're funding those very realities, energizing what you don't want. But if you redirect that energy inward toward clarity, intention, and presence, you begin to build energetic wealth. Your energy is also affected by your internal state, your thoughts and emotions. Negative reactive thinking puts your brain and body in survival mode. This tightens your energetic field, shortens your breath, increases stress hormones, and locks you into the past. On the other hand, elevated emotional states like gratitude, love, and inspiration expand your field, regulate your heart rhythms, and align your nervous system into a state of coherence. That's when you become magnetic, not just to people, but to the opportunities and realities that match that frequency. Protecting your energy doesn't mean shutting down or isolating. It means choosing what's worth responding to and what's not. It means developing such inner clarity and discipline that your energy can no longer be manipulated by the external world. You start observing instead of reacting, creating instead of consuming. And in this way, you don't just conserve your energy, you begin to amplify it. And once amplified, you have the power to shift from living life by chance to living life by design. Absolutely, Ashir. Here's a 5-paragraph deep dive into silence strengthens the nervous system, written in a calm, reflective tone inspired by Dr. JEO Dispenza's way of blending neuroscience, spirituality, and conscious living. Silence strengthens the nervous system expanded. Silence is not just the absence of noise. It is a physiological reset. In the stillness, your nervous system finds the space to recalibrate itself. When you're constantly stimulated by sound, notifications, conversations, or even your own racing thoughts, your body operates in a heightened state of alert. That's the sympathetic nervous system, also known as a fight or flight, which floods your body with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. But silence, practiced consciously, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the arrest and restore branch, where healing, regeneration, and balance begin to take place. In silence, your brain waves begin to slow down. You shift from the high beta waves of overthinking and problem solving into the slower alpha and theta ranges, where your mind enters deeper states of relaxation and heightened intuition. This transition is crucial because it allows your body to move from survival into creativity. In alpha, you're no longer reacting to the outer world, you're tuning into the inner one. In theta, you enter a dreamlike state where the subconscious becomes accessible and deeper programming can occur. Silence isn't passive, it's a doorway to transformation. Chronic noise, whether external or internal, keeps the nervous system overstimulated, which weakens immunity, disrupts digestion, impairs sleep, and shortens your attention span. Most people live in a constant loop of stimulation and reaction, never giving their bodies a chance to regulate. But when you intentionally practice silence, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply sitting still with your thoughts, you create coherence between the heart, the brain, and the body. You allow the body to do what it was designed to do, heal itself. In that silence, neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine begin to rebalance. Inflammatory markers drop. Blood pressure lowers. Heart rate stabilizes. You begin to feel a sense of peace that isn't dependent on anything external. That's because silence gives you space to return to your natural state, homeostasis. It's not the noise that strengthens you. It's the intentional pause between all of it. It's the moment you stop reaching outward and start listening inward. That real alignment begins. So many people are chasing solutions to burnout, anxiety, and mental fatigue when the first medicine is silence. Not just quiet, but intentional silence. The kind where you become still enough to hear your own nervous system whisper. Every time you expose yourself unnecessarily, and when you build this practice daily, you become a regulated being in a dysregulated world. You no longer react to everything. Defending your emotions, you begin to respond from a calm, you're poking holes in your vessels. That's not just mental strength. Field weekend. It's your ability to manifest, to stay emotionally grounded, to stay connected to source begins to fragment. Why? Because your system is no longer contained. It's being pulled outward. This is not about hiding. This is about preserving. In the early stages of any transformation, your inner reality is delicate. A new belief, a fresh vision, a rising frequency. It needs protection. Like a seed planted in the soil, if it's exposed too soon to the elements, it dies. The same principle applies to your energy. When you constantly talk about your plans or emotional states before they are fully stabilized within you, you disperse the very charge that was meant to carry them into reality. Neuroscience also confirms this. When you talk about a goal prematurely, your brain releases dopamine, the same reward chemical it would release if you'd actually achieve the goal. This a false reward tricks the nervous system into thinking the work is already done, reducing the motivation to act. Spiritually, this mirrors a leaking aura. You've broadcasted the frequency, but not held it long enough to collapse into form. So the universe doesn't respond because your signal has been diluted. To conserve your electromagnetic energy is to respect your inner world. It means holding your vision in silence until it gains enough coherence to speak for itself through results. It means resisting the urge to explain yourself and instead becoming grounded in your own knowing. The more you contain your energy, the more powerful your signal becomes, and the stronger your reality responds. This is how you stop scattering and start embodying. It's not about staying quiet out of fear. It's about staying silent out of strength. Absolutely, Ashir. Here's a 5-paragraph, in-depth expansion of a creation requires conscious containment, crafted in that transformative, deeply intentional voice where science meets the soul, inspired by the style of Dr. JEO Dispenza. 4. Creation requires conscious containment, expanded. Creation is not a random process. It is intentional, vibrational, and deeply personal. Every time you imagine a new future, envision a different version of yourself, or tap into a dream, you are engaging the power of creation. But here's the truth most people miss. Creation does not thrive in chaos. It requires order. It requires structure. And most importantly, it requires containment. Containment doesn't mean suppression. It means holding your energy, attention, and emotions in alignment long enough for something meaningful to form. When you set an intention, you generate a frequency. That frequency is your signal to the field. But for that signal to be strong enough to collapse into reality, it must be coherent and consistent. This is where most people lose their creative power. They leak it. They speak too soon, share too much, or constantly shift their focus. In doing so, they interrupt the vibrational thread before it has a chance to take shape. Just like a sculptor doesn't show a half-formed statue to the world, a conscious creator knows that real change requires time, trust, and sacred space. Think of your inner world as a womb, a space of incubation. Every idea, every belief, every energetic shift needs to be nurtured before it's exposed. When you keep your intention close, when you meditate on it, align your emotions with it, and act in integrity with it, you're containing the frequency. You're giving it strength. You're fusing thought with feeling. And eventually, your nervous system, your electromagnetic field, and your subconscious all begin to agree. This is who I am now. Containment is about holding your frequency even when the outside world hasn't caught up. It's resisting the urge to prove, to perform, or to explain. Instead of needing others to validate your shift, you validate it within yourself through repetition, emotion, and presence. The more you return to the vision and stillness, the stronger the neural pathways become. The more elevated the emotion you attach to it, the stronger the magnetic charge becomes. External manifestation. So many people chase external validation, not realizing that every time they expose their internal process too early, they weaken the energy needed to complete it. Containment is mastery. It is knowing when to speak and when to be still. It is choosing presence over performance. And it is trusting that the quantum field doesn't respond to what you say, but to what you consistently vibrate. Creation happens in silence before it ever shows up in sound. And only when the internal is fully formed should it be revealed to the external. Of course, Ashir. Here's a 5-paragraph, rich and grounded expansion of the quantum field responds to vibration, not words, written in the elevated frequency-based language that echoes Dr. JEO Dispenza's teachings, where science and spirit speak as one. The quantum field responds to vibration, not words expanded. The universe is not listening to what you say, it's responding to what you are. The quantum field, the invisible realm of infinite potential, does not speak English, Urdu, or any human language. Its native tongue is frequency. It responds not to your voice, but to your vibration. Your words can say, I am abundant, but if your energy says, I am afraid, the field aligns with fear. This is not punishment, it is resonance. It is law. And it is incredibly empowering once you understand how to align your inner world with what you truly desire. You are a vibrational being broadcasting signals every second through your thoughts, emotions, intentions, and beliefs. These aren't just abstract concepts. Thoughts are electric. Emotions are magnetic. Together they generate the electromagnetic field that surrounds your body. That field is your energetic signature, and it's constantly interacting with the field around you, drawing in people, experiences, and outcomes that match its frequency. This is not philosophy. It's physics. The field reflects your signal, not your story. So many people try to change their lives with declarations, affirmations shouted in the mirror, goals announced to the world. But they don't realize that unless those words are backed by coherent emotion and belief, they fall flat in the field. You can say, I trust the process 100 times. But if your nervous system is bracing for failure, the field mirrors resistance, not trust. Vibration is the invisible currency of reality, and the field cannot be deceived by empty sound. It reads your state, not your script. This is why inner work is so powerful. When you begin to regulate your nervous system, elevate your emotions, and align your subconscious beliefs with your conscious intentions, your vibration changes. And the moment your vibration changes, your reality has no choice but to shift. You don't need to force the outer world. You don't need to beg, prove, or plead. You simply become a vibrational match for what you seek. You become the energy of abundance, love, peace, or purpose, and then the field reflects it back. True manifestation happens not when you speak louder, but when you vibrate clearer. The quantum field is listening for congruence, for internal alignment. When your thoughts match your emotions and your actions reflect your beliefs, you become energetically whole, and wholeness is magnetic. That's when synchronicities appear. That's when doors open without effort. That's when life begins to feel like it's flowing with you, not against you. Because it is. The field is always responding, not to what you want, but to who you are. Here's a 5-paragraph expansion of emotion plus intention equals magnetic force, written in that powerful, grounded, yet elevated tone, merging quantum mechanics, emotional intelligence, and personal empowerment very much in the style you're feeling. 6. Emotion plus intention equals magnetic force, expanded. Intention is the blueprint. Emotion is the engine. When you combine a clear intention with an elevated emotion, you create a magnetic force that draws your vision from the unseen into the seen. This isn't positive thinking. It's energetic precision. Your intention is the mental picture of what you desire to experience, but it is your emotion that energizes that picture and broadcasts it into the field. Without emotion, intention is just thought. A vibration strong enough to collapse possibility into physicality. In the language of energy, thoughts are electrical. They send signals out. Emotions are magnetic. They draw experiences in. When the two work together, they create coherence, a resonance between your inner world and the quantum field. This is the sweet spot of creation. When you see clearly what you want and feel as though it's already done, your entire body shifts. Your brain fires in new patterns. Your heart emits a stronger electromagnetic field. Your body no longer lives in the memory of the past. It begins living in the energy of the future. Emotion is the carrier wave that charges your vision. But not just any emotion, elevated emotion. Gratitude, joy, freedom, love, worthiness. These aren't just feelings, they're frequencies. They unlock the heart. They synchronize the brain. They open the nervous system to flow, not fight. When you feel these elevated emotions while holding a clear intention, you're no longer separate from your vision. You've already become it in the quantum field. The body doesn't know the difference between a real event and an emotionally charged thought. So it begins to prepare for that reality, as if it's already happening. That preparation is alignment. Your cells shift. Your chemistry changes. You begin to embody the future. This is why so many people stay stuck. They think clearly about the life they want, but they feel the emotions of the life they're trying to escape. The field responds not to what you're thinking about. It responds to what you're emotionally embodying. So if your emotions are still rooted in lack, fear, or unworthiness, even the best intention can't find traction. But when you change your emotional state, your field becomes magnetic. So the next time you set an intention, don't stop with clarity. Ask yourself, what does the version of me who already lives this reality feel like? Then feel that emotion now, breathe it into your body, anchor it in your chest. Charge your vision with that frequency. Do it over and over until your body believes it more than your mind doubts it. That is when the field begins to reorganize matter in your favor. That is when attraction becomes inevitable. Because now, you're not chasing your future, you're vibrating as it. Absolutely, Ashir. Here's a 5-paragraph deep dive into You Are the Environment. Written in that empowering, energetically aware voice that blends quantum understanding, self-awareness, and deep presence, very much in the energetic signature you're looking for. 7. You are the environment, expanded. Most people believe the environment is something external. Your home, your job, your circumstances, the people around you. But in the quantum model of reality, that's only part of the truth. The deeper truth is this: you are not just in the environment. You are the environment. Your thoughts, emotions, energy, and state of being are all broadcasting into the field, shaping your experience of the world around you. The external world is not separate from you. It is an extension of your internal vibration. Your nervous system is constantly scanning your surroundings to determine what's safe, what's familiar, and what's real. But your nervous system doesn't just interpret the environment. It creates it through perception. If you live in a state of fear, you perceive the world as dangerous. If you live in a state of gratitude, the same world becomes generous. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about understanding that your internal state filters how you experience reality. You don't just respond to the environment, you generate it. The quantum field responds to your energy, not your surroundings. That means the power isn't out there, it's within. When you regulate your nervous system, when you elevate your emotional state, when you hold a vision with clarity and coherence, you begin to shift what shows up in your outer world. People change, opportunities arise, obstacles dissolve. You no longer wait for your environment to change so you can feel better. You feel better, and the environment aligns to match it. The old model says, change your environment to change your life. The new model says, change your internal environment, and your external reality will reflect it. You are not a passive observer of your life. You are the signal generator. When you live with this awareness, you stop reacting and start creating. You realize your home, your finances, your relationships, even your health are responding to the frequency you're holding. You begin to take full responsibility for your vibration, because now you know you are the field. When your inner world is chaotic, even a peaceful place feels heavy. But when your inner world is grounded, coherent, and elevated, you can walk through the most uncertain environment and remain anchored in peace. You become the thermostat, not the thermometer. You influence rather than absorb. You walk into a room and shift the frequency, not by trying to change others, but by mastering your own state. That is the power of presence. That is the power of energy. That is the power of realizing that you are the environment. Certainly, Ashir. Here's a fitting, impactful ending to tie together the themes of energetic mastery, conscious creation, and internal transformation. Conclusion: you are not a passive observer of life. You are the creator of your experience. The external world is simply a reflection of your inner state, and by mastering your internal environment, you can shape the reality you desire. Every thought, emotion, and intention you hold is a powerful force that influences the field around you. When you learn to harness your vibration with intention and elevate your emotions, you activate a magnetic force that begins to draw the life you've envisioned toward you. Quantum field is always responding to who you are, not just what you say or want. By containing your energy, aligning your vibration with your vision, and understanding that you are the environment, you take back control of your creation. You are not separate from the universe. You are an integral part of it. Every moment is an opportunity to realign, reset, and consciously direct your energy to manifest the reality you seek. Now, the question is not what is happening to me, but how can I respond to this moment with power, coherence, and alignment? The answer lies within you. Trust your inner guidance, protect your energy, elevate your emotions, and know that you are always in the process of becoming. Your future is not somewhere out there waiting for you. It's already within you, waiting to unfold in alignment with the vibration you choose to hold. Embrace the stillness, trust in the process, and remember, you are the environment. And with that understanding, the world begins to shift in your favor. I hope this serves as a fitting conclusion to your work or speech. If you'd like to tweak it or make it even more personalized, just let me know.